Hey podcast, just before we get you to this episode, I wanted to invite you to join us at pageantlaunch.com. We are starting the world's first dedicated pageant review site, and we want you to join our launch team. All you need to do is put in your email address. It's completely free. We are looking to make the pageant industry safe, transparent, and fair, and we'd love your input on how to do that. So head over to pageantlaunch.com, whack in your email address, and let's get you to this episode. I just looked at my face. Hey everyone, it's Adrian from the Pageant Project, and we have Danielle and Lauren as usual, and our special guest for this week is Maria Torres, who is CEO of Galaxy Pageants and Queen of the Galaxy, etc., etc. I think most of you know her. So, actually, for those who don't, we'll go around the circle and we'll get everyone to introduce themselves, just in case people don't know who we are. And if you can't tell, we're Halloween themed this week. I don't normally look like this. So Ms. London Galaxy, why don't you start us off and introduce yourself?
Hey, so I'm Danielle Latimer. I'm the current Ms. London Galaxy at the moment. And I've been in pageantry for about 10 years or so now. So probably a little bit too long, but still having fun, still running with it. That's me. Yeah.
It's never too long. Lauren, what about yourself? Can you introduce yourself?
My name is Lauren Parkinson. I have my stashes here, so I don't need to explain much. But I'm humble brag, yeah. Just,
I was going to say, that's a lot of sash. You don't have to introduce yourself. You just have to bend down so we can see past the Mickey Mouse ears.
I am the future Miss Belleza Latina, just if you can tell.
This is going to be the longest ongoing joke, is you trying to get into Belleza Latina. Maria, so when are you going to let Lauren in? What else does she have to do? She's dyed her hair apparently dark, so she looks a bit more Latina. She's wearing the t-shirt. What else does she have to do? Have a blood transfusion?
I know. I think I might just have to adopt her and just give her that. Just give her that name.
I'm coming for the ambassador next year.
Yeah.
So let's go to Maria. Maria, for the 1% of the audience who doesn't know who you are, can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, Maria Torres, founder of the Miss Belleza Latina International Pageant and the owner and CEO of Galaxy International Pageants, as well as Junior Miss.
Very, very cool. And guys, I can see a ton of you are watching. If you have any questions or you just want to send a joke our way about how horrible we look or how fantastic we look, then do that. This is supposed to be interactive.
I hate themes.
Yeah, so as it turns out, the two of us who are crazy enough to try themes are on the top of your screen, and the two ones who are basically Ebenezer Scrooge when it comes to doing this stuff, the bar humbugs, are at the bottom. Lauren had to be persuaded to put on ears, and Maria is wearing Halloween-themed eyeshadow, whereas I got this mask which is smelling like something died in it, which might be me if I don't. I also can't drink or something.
Why do we get the bah humbug? I spent like half an hour doing my damn makeup.
Okay. All right. So Rebecca Jane Everson, Rebecca is Ms. Galaxy Europe, Maria, right?
Yes, she is Ms. Galaxy UK and newly crowned Galaxy Europe because she was first runner-up.
Yeah. So she's on, and she said, Maria, you look fantastic, with lots of hearts. So she's sucking up to you.
What about the rest of us?
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Okay, so she's then said Danielle, Lauren. I need to tell you the punctuation. So Danielle, Lauren, and then ... Adrian. You all look great too. We get one heart, and I get dots before it, so I feel like she doesn't really mean it. Sandal Taylor has said, you ladies look beautiful. Yes, I do look beautiful, Sandal. Thank you for noticing. Okay, so guys, again, if you have any comments or any questions, especially for Maria, then put them in the comments below and I'll pass them on, because they can't see the comments, or they look on their phone. I'm sure they can. But I want everyone to catch us up on what they've been doing since last week. And in Maria's case, she'll catch us up on basically everything that's happened since Galaxy. And she just announced the dates for Chicago next year for Galaxy International, which is super exciting. It's a day after my birthday, Maria. You know that? 27th of July.
Stop! We're gonna have to celebrate in Chicago.
Well, I'm trying to work out, when I fly there, I can't remember if I gain a day or I lose a day. Because if I lose a day, that means I'd actually lose the 26th, because I'd leave on the 25th and get there the 27th. So does anyone know if I gain a day or lose a day going from Australia to...
You're Chicago.
You gain a day.
You gain a day because you're 17 hours ahead of us. So
that
you
means
gain 17 hours.
Ah, yeah. So you'll fly back in time.
So if I play my cards right, that means I can have my birthday twice.
Yes, but you should definitely try to leave before that, like a few days before that.
I'm planning the same with Galaxy UK. I just need to work out what I'm going to do with those few days, because I don't want to just fly over for one night of a pageant or something like that. That would be slightly crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can hang out with us.
Yeah, we'll sort that out. Okay, so Danielle, why don't you catch us up with what you've been doing since last week, apparently, apart from tying a sock to your head?
Yeah, in case anyone wondered what these were, these are actually socks that I just stuck to my head. Since last week, so Tuesday night was Miss Teen GB, and I saw Imogen hand it over, which was super emotional. For you guys that know Imogen, you know there's not a dry seat in the house when it comes to her. So I watched her hand over, and then back to work for me. And then on Friday night, I attended Julia Morley's 80th birthday party, which was incredible. Right. There was about 700 people there in the Grosvenor House Hall. It was amazing just to celebrate everything she's achieved. It was amazing to see so many Miss Worlds in one room. It was just like mental. And we had a good knees up afterwards, a good dance, good boogie on the dance floor. Me and Vanessa got down and boogied. And then on Saturday, I attended my first ever curve pageant. That was amazing. The atmosphere in there was electric. The support was fantastic. I had a really great time. And then on Sunday, this was my service Sunday, which I started, which I announced last week to you guys. So this Sunday, I hung out with my little cousin, and she reached out to my auntie saying that she wants to get out into modelling, and my auntie asked me if I would help her, so I said of course I would. We arranged for it to be this Sunday. We spoke about modelling, her ambitions, come up with a game plan to get her signed, went out and took some pictures, and then we attended Zara Naughtley's cake and tea charity event as well, so we went and supported that, and Rohanna came to that as well. So yeah, it was a really lovely day, and that was kind of my week.
That's busy.
Busy week, yeah.
That just kind of sounds like a normal week in your life though, right?
Yeah, I don't like to stand still for very long.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I don't know about anyone else, but that's like, yeah, no, that's a normal week for Danielle, not a busy week.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? So, yeah, Imogen, you talked about a lot of things there. Gee, that really is a compressed week. How many Miss Worlds do you think there were at the... Sorry, I can't stop touching this bloody thing. How many Miss Worlds do you think there were there?
I think there was probably around about 13, 14 Miss Worlds there previously. Right. Yeah, a lot of Miss Worlds.
That would have made a great photo.
It was, yeah. They all got together on the dance floor, and there was a photo taken. So I'll try and find that. Actually, I didn't really take many photos though. I think I was just too busy enjoying myself.
That's okay. That's a good thing. I think sometimes to put the phone away for a bit and just enjoy yourself. Okay, so that's a manic week. Miss Parkinson, what have you been up to apart from booking flights to Thailand?
It's a secret. No, I'm joking, it's not.
Well, it's too late now.
So for me, I think it was some night this week it's kind of all merged into one, but I met with a business mentor who goes to schools and does talks with young people wanting to give them a little bit more of a boost. So we met up and went through strategies for my Beauty with a Purpose project, and yeah, we just kind of bounced ideas off each other and just up and kind of started the initial research for my project, just so that I can get a lot more information than needed. And then Thursday I went and got braces from Zara. I haven't got them in now, that you like take them in and out. And then I just worked hard. Saturday was a busy day working, and then got sick. Today I'm really sick. Well, that's not good.
You look good for someone who's dying.
No, my throat is like.
Oh no. Okay, so don't talk more than you have to. You've had a pretty busy week then. So with the braces situation, can you eat normally, or are you drinking everything through a straw?
It does hurt. Like if I have them in and then take them out to eat, it's like that initial, like, I don't know if you've ever had braces, like that pressure in you. Yeah, it's like that. So it's kind of like soft foods for now.
Yeah. No, I still have braces, but they're behind my teeth, so you can't see them. I remember what the pain was like.
3 months, so it's not too bad. It'll go fairly quickly.
Yeah. Okay. And Maria, you get to catch us up with everything that's happened since Galaxy International, because that's the last time I spoke to you.
Yeah, so basically starting to get all the planning done for 2020 and release the dates, like you said, last night. And we're working on a new crown, just because where I had them done, the factory, they just keep coming back really horrible. Every batch I get, it gets worse and worse. Girls, their stones are falling out and they're twitching. So we're just working on redoing the delegate crowns, and they're not going to be completely different. We're just upping the quality of those crowns so that the girls, don't have missing stones and all that good stuff every time they have appearances. So that's really important to me. And just pretty much getting ready for next year, and doing some events with the queens I have here that live near me. Have a lot of stuff coming up, so we do have a little bit of a busy schedule. And then getting ready for training in the UK that I'm super excited about. I've already got quite a few girls that have contacted me for training. So I have a pretty flexible boss, so I can take time off whenever I want.
Hang on, who is your actual boss? It's you, isn't it?
Yes.
I was going to say, I think Marty's the boss.
Danielle, you okay?
Yeah, I'm just getting a pillow.
Oh, okay. I thought you had some sort of
I
leg
think we're going to be here
cramp.
for a while, so I'm going to need to get comfortable.
We're getting a close up of your whiskers. It's great. Oh God. Maria, so I obviously I've never been to the training in the UK, so can you tell me more about what happens? I'm sure Danielle and Lauren know, but maybe for some of the girls who are watching in the UK who don't know exactly what happens with the training. So you go actually over to the UK, right? Before UK Galaxy.
Yeah, basically what happened was, as Galaxy UK got bigger and bigger every year, and Holly was getting larger groups of contestants competing, I noticed there was a need to get some of these girls some proper training as far as walking on stage, how to pose in an evening gown, and just basically how to look their best on a runway, because things get a little bit different when you come over the pond to this side, especially in competition. The girls are up against their American counterparts here, and the judges are used to that type. So not so much trying to get them to look or mimic us, but at least give them an equal playing field where they're coming really prepared and at their best, their personal best. And I felt that was something that would be beneficial to a lot of the girls. And it actually has been, at least I think so, just based on the number of girls that come back to me for training and, and the level of interest that I get.
Yeah. I know Lauren has done a significant, I don't know exactly how much, but I know Lauren's done training with you. So,
3 years.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I think this is probably something interesting to talk about because all three of you can actually talk about, which is a difference between pageantry between the countries, but specifically between the UK, let's say, and the US. So in terms of, I mean, anyone want to chime in, but I might start with Maria. So would you have any overall tips for girls coming from the UK system? Let's say they win Galaxy 2020 in the UK, and then they're coming over the pond to compete in Chicago. Are there any tips that you'd give them straight off the bat in terms of differences to prepare for?
Well, there just like in the US, there's certain areas of the US where you can tell where girls are from based on their walk.
Right.
They kind of tend to either all go to the same person or they kind of mimic each other, and that translates on stage. Just so almost like you can tell a Puerto Rico girl when you see her on stage, sort of. You kind of look at her and go, yeah, I'm kind of thinking she's from PR or from one of the Latin countries. They have aura about them.
Yeah.
In their stage presence and just overall walk. So with the UK, if they win and come over this way, the one thing that I do tell the girls a lot, and I think Lauren can vouch for this, and I think even Danielle, because Danielle had it a little bit, and we kind of had to tone that down, which is a lot of the hopping and just kind of it's almost like an overzealousness that they get. And
is it the bouncy thing?
Right. It doesn't look as graceful and as elegant on stage. And I know everyone loves the tippy tops, and some girls can pull them off, but I prefer to show a girl how different she can walk and look if she changed her shoe. And I know that there are girls that can vouch for that. I've changed their shoes and I said, you cannot walk in these. I promise you, you're going to look different.
Yeah, the first time I met with Maria, I brought my Marc Dufangs and she went, no. So I went on Barry, bought a £20 pair of shoes, and they were great.
So yeah. I don't know if this is disclosing the secrets of the trade, but what in the £20 pair of shoes, what enabled you to walk better, Lauren? Was it just the height?
So I just found with the Marc Dufangs is they were very light on the feet, so you weren't really like being able to ground your step. Whereas when we bought these £20 ones, they were a lot shorter, a lot more sturdier, and they like the Marc Dufangs only touched the floor on a certain position, whereas the other shoe touched it on the front fully.
Right.
And the heel wasn't as skinny. So it just gave you a bit more control over where you were stepping.
Maria Joanna Johnson has said that you're the best trainer with a heart.
Thank you. She's been.
Lauren, can you give us more of an idea of the training that you've done with Maria? Because you've done a lot, obviously. And actually, I don't think I told Lauren this, but I put up a post probably a month or so back on Instagram asking people to tag the queen who had the best walk. And I've got to say, out of the responses that I got, you actually had the most. There were
that's cute. All that to Maria.
More than a few who nominated yourself. So can you tell us about the training you did with Maria?
So me and Maria met in November 2016. And
wow.
That was in the old dress studio. And then we met again in March, just before Galaxy in 2017. Also November, we trained as well when I came to your house. And we also Skyped up until Galaxy Internationals. Like every Friday, I'd go to a studio, Skype with Maria, and we'd go through everything. And then it's just like before Grand, we Skyped again. Before UK Power Pageant, we Skyped. Like most of it was Skype because obviously it's hard to come back and forth.
Yeah.
But every single time Maria's made a trip to the UK, we've just gone through things and just tweaked things here and there. Or maybe if I haven't practiced, Maria's like, right, you've lost that a little bit. You need to work on that. And it's just been like a good, well, it's coming up to 3 years now of just constant, just picking up on things and just improving things, working on turns and trying new things for on stage, something a little bit different. And so it's been a long process. And the difference from before and after, oh my goodness, I was like, what was that walk before?
That's what I was going to ask. I mean, do you have any videos from before you started training with Maria? Because I'd love to see the before and after.
Maria's got a before and after.
Yeah, they're posted on the Runway with Maria page. Her before and after is pretty amazing. She was it's just so funny because I still remember when we did the initial, when I say get into your model stance, and she would be facing this way, and I'm like, I'm over here, why are you facing that way? And she's like, I can't put my feet the other way, it's too hard. And I'm like, no, it's the simplest thing. And I literally, it took me your mom said, I've never seen anyone able to fix her in 2 minutes. You did this in 2 minutes. She could not do this before, and now she can.
I just have it drummed into my head. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
What is the 1, 2, 1, 2? Is that the step? Is that the walk?
Yeah.
It's going to the pace in your head, not the pace of the music.
Oh, right. Okay. Were you walking too quickly before or too slowly?
I think if you walk to the music, you can either go too quick or too slow. If you walk to your own pace, you're on your own timing.
Yeah.
Right.
So girls tend to follow the beat of the music. And what happens is that if that pace changes, or as they're walking and they're getting to a spot, they tend to go fast, and then they try to slow down when they get to that little spot where they want to turn or pose. Yeah. So what happens is that it gives the impression that you lost your step or you lost count, and you're now trying to find your spot.
Okay, right. Yep.
So when I train my girls, I teach them to keep a count up here, so that as they're doing this, no matter what music is playing, no matter where they stop, no matter where they pose, they will always look like they are on.
Yep. And it helps. It really does.
Yeah. And every girl could be different. I might have a different count or different pace for another girl, because it could be based on how long her legs are. It could be, how wide I want her to take her stride, or how short I want her to take her stride. So everything is tailored to the specific girl. It's not something that is always the same. Everyone needs to walk like me. Everyone needs to walk like me, and this is what you're going to learn. No, every girl I teach based on her natural ability and her natural way of walking. We just enhance that. So I can teach 10 different girls how to walk 10 different ways.
That's incredible. As a guy not ever having paid any attention to how he walks, it's amazing to see. It doesn't surprise me though. It's amazing to see how nuanced it is, because when I was coaching tennis, it was the same. Everyone is different, and in many ways tennis reflects your personality. So it sounds very similar to what you just described. There are probably some fundamentals in common, but every girl will have slight unique nuances that make her different.
Exactly.
I remember when Maria taught me my walk for UK Galaxy, and I think I was probably the first person in the UK to do you remember the end pose and then the turn?
In the gown?
No, in fashion wear, and we did the turn. Yeah. And then literally everyone was doing it after that. And as well, like my turns walking off, Maria taught me those, and it took us so long to perfect a turn, and you wouldn't like realize how long it actually takes to perfect it. And then everyone just tried to turn. I'm like, please don't turn if you can't, you'll end up falling over. It took me so long.
I've seen a couple of turns on the Australian Galaxy stage where it looks like someone has tried to copy someone else, or someone is trying a skill that's too difficult for them, and I'm looking at them just panic that they're going to fall over, because especially when they're I don't know what it's called, I don't know if you have names for your turns, but when the girl's walking off and if she's walking at a fairly quick pace and then she does a full turn while she's walking off and she looks over her shoulder back at the audience at the same time, I've seen some girls wobble on that, and I just think they're going to break their wrists.
Yeah, it can be hard.
I feel like there's a girl every single year at UK Galaxy that does it, that hasn't practiced it, and it doesn't end very well.
I think last year I almost had about 4 heart attacks.
We're measuring it in heart attacks.
There were, I kid you not, because this is me. Oh God, don't do it. Don't do it. She's gonna do it. She's gonna do it. She's gonna do it.
No, too late.
No. And she turns and her ankle gives out and she
wobbles. No. Oh God. Oh Jesus.
So, yeah. And it happens all the time, and I wish that someone would teach girls how to turn properly. There is a proper way to do it. I'm not going to spill all my secrets.
Of course.
You got to book in for training with Maria if you want the real tea.
But no, honest to goodness, there really is a skill to turning properly. And if you know anything about physics and momentum and inertia and all that good stuff, yeah, you're gonna learn pretty quickly when your face hits the floor, because it's not as easy as it looks. Doing, especially in 6-inch stilettos with a 2-inch or 1.5-inch platform, you have to be very, very careful how you're turning.
Okay, I have a serious question. How many turns is too many turns?
Oh, Lauren, I know what you're getting at here.
Like, I was thinking maybe 5 turns on stage.
I feel like there's a backstory behind this question, Lauren.
5 turns in the same spot, or just 5 turns in general?
Right, so
5 turns in the same spot. You'd be like a ballerina.
This weekend.
Oh, have you not seen this, Adrian? Have you not seen that?
She busted out a quadruple twice now.
Who?
I'm like
Grand Thailand.
I think she's trying to be a gym.
It was
a whirling dervish.
No,
it was like a dance machine.
I didn't. 4 turns, 5 quadruple. No, this sounds like figure skating or something like that. It doesn't sound like a walk on a pageant runway.
I think like, that's what she looked like. Like she was figure skating, actually.
Maybe she has that as a background.
A step, turn. It was just
step, twirl, step, twirl, step, twirl, step, twirl, and I'm just like.
This is making me feel nauseous.
Blow a kiss.
Oh God, no! Oh wait.
No, Mark.
This is what you two were doing last week. I didn't understand, because I don't get to watch a lot of stuff, because it's often like at 3 a.m. and what is this thing that I can't even do it? What?
The guy knows this one too.
It's from Miss Grand International, your year, Danielle, because she was your best friend.
Mate, she had the audacity to come out to me afterwards, after my evening gown, and I stacked it, to be fair, I did trip. She came up to me afterwards, she's like, it's okay. Well, I'll teach you runway. I'll help you. Like, thanks, Macedonia. I'll definitely be coming to you for runway training.
I love that accent.
Oh my gosh, that was the best.
Adrian, have we lost Adrian? Has he lost us?
Coming back,
Oh,
we're coming back.
There
back.
he is.
Okay.
He's got the dodgy Wi-Fi now.
I think.
Oh, I'm in Australia.
In general, Lauren, to answer your question, how many twirls is too many, or how many turns is too many? One or two is good. Anything after two, you're kind of, I don't know.
Dizzy.
Well, yeah. I mean, if that's all you got, I mean, that's kind of.
I'm just going to go to the Facebook comments for a sec because we had a couple of questions. Now, Sandal Taylor, this is probably for Maria to answer, but Danielle and Lauren, feel free to chime in. Or if you have any questions for Maria, like throw them at her. This is your chance. But Sandal has asked, do you have a favorite type of shoe that you recommend?
I don't. I have, my favorite type of shoe is a shoe that fits properly and allows you to move and walk elegantly and smoothly. So it doesn't have to be a pageant shoe. It could be any shoe. I've literally sent girls to quiz at Trafford Center in the UK and get $10 shoes because the heel is a much more comfortable and appropriate heel for their height and for their stride. So I don't really have a particular shoe, but what I do tell my girls, well, not my girls, but what I do tell girls that come to me for training is to bring a multiple, a multiple choice of shoes so that we can have options. And I promise you, I still get girls that will only come in tippy tops and try telling me, oh, but these are so comfortable, so I'll put them in one of my shoes.
I feel like it's just trial and error. Like, you just got to try and go with it.
Yeah,
it works. It works.
Yeah, and what girls seem to think also is that height is a deciding factor in pageantry. If you're entering a pageant that only wants tall girls and you're willing to risk breaking an ankle for that, then hey, go for it. But height has no bearing, because a 5'3" girl walking super elegant and looking fabulous and being able to kill it on the runway and do a turn like nobody's business effortlessly versus someone that looks 6 feet tall in a 6-inch pair of stilettos and she's wobbly or her stride just isn't quite there. It doesn't allow her posture to be as elegant and as pretty as someone else. I would go for the shorter girl. I would vote for her. So your height has no bearing if you're not going to look elegant and graceful.
What are the main differences that different shoes can have? I mean, obviously you mentioned the height and you mentioned whether they fit properly. I mean, those two by themselves are huge things. I can't tell you how many girls I've seen wearing shoes that don't fit them properly. But are there any other sort of qualities in a shoe that you look for apart from those two?
Yes, there is. And one of the things
I can just pull out some shoes now if you'd like.
Yeah,
sure,
I mean,
you've got them. Maria's in a closet.
There's something in a shoe that's called a pitch, and the pitch of the shoe is actually the angle between or the slant between the ball of your foot and the heel. So those pitches can really, really make a difference in how somebody walks. Just because of where that pitch lands, or where that pitch allows your body to go forward or back. Yeah. So like yours are.
So these are the Mark Defangs. Now these are so light and they just feel like nothing on your feet. And this bottom here, it's only a certain point that touches the floor.
Yeah.
So you are literally walking and it's
You're
so
rocking.
wobbly. Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually seen a pair of those break on stage, live on stage, and the girl's shoe broke while she was competing.
Not sturdy.
Wow. Okay.
I'm probably going to get done for slander now.
These ones, which are Myanmar finest. And these are really comfy.
Maria's taking a close look.
Ones.
Those are YSL. Yeah, those are YSL knockoffs.
Yeah, these are so heavy and comfy. I enjoy these. These are fun to walk in. I have them in nude too.
Yeah, but see, turn to the side. So that part between the heel and the platform, Adrian, is the pitch. So that pitch right there, some of them, do you see how that one actually has almost a bit of a curve in the center?
Yes.
Before it comes down. So some pitches actually are literally like this.
Right.
So they're so slanted that you literally feel like you're on a cliff.
These ones are like that. These ones are like literally on a cliff.
Yeah. See how that one has the pitch a little bit. I mean, you can walk in those tippy tops, or I don't know. Who's the trademark for tippy tops? Is that laundry? Chinese laundry.
Chinese laundry.
Yeah.
I know where my tippy tops are.
Even aside from the pitch and the heel and all that good stuff, have we seen the way that the toes come out at the front on some of these tippy tops?
Yeah, because look at them. They're skinny at the bottom. So everyone's toes, when they go, they're like this.
Are like this, and yes, they. I promise you, Adrian, it happens. It.
No, I've seen it. I've seen it in many photos, because I've seen so many photos and I've noticed that, and I just look at them going, is that how it's supposed to look? Because it looks really uncomfortable and it doesn't look very elegant when your toes are all bunched up, and it looks like, because you're on that cliff, you look like you're hanging on for dear life with your toes. And I'm just like, is that how it's supposed to look? Because I've heard people tell me, no, it shouldn't look like that. But then I look at like 80% of the photos and it looks like that. So is that because of the shoe?
It's because it's not fitting them properly.
Yeah, it's just because the pitch is so high that it pushes their feet forward.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah, so yeah, I can see that. Well, I've never thought of shoes at this level of detail before. I just thought a pair of shoes was a pair of shoes. I'm just...
You take your mask off, and I know that it's been itching you for a while.
Yeah, I'm kind of resigned to it now. I will take it off in a second. Janima has said, Maria, I'm ready for you to slay my walk again, with a heart. Sandal has asked, what do you think the number one thing is that hurts the girl? I would assume that's not physically. I would assume that's probably mainly the chances of her winning, but I guess we were talking about walk. So Maria, is there any number one thing that you think hurts the girl?
No, I mean, I think it depends on the judges that day, their level of, knowledge on walks and so forth, what they notice, what they might not notice. I'm one of those that half the time I'm not even looking at your dress. I'm looking at how you're walking.
Right.
I'm looking at what I can see at your hemline. I'm looking at, how's your stride, how's your gracefulness, your overall poise, your charm, your stage presence, how you carry yourself. So while sometimes initially a girl might blow me away with when she comes out in something, and I might say like, oh,
yeah,
wow. But then as she's walking, she can kill it for me. It could be a stunning Leo Amadal. And if you're walking like a giraffe, I'm going to be like, such a shame, like such a beautiful dress. And she can't even carry the dress properly. So I mean, I think it could be any number of factors on that day, different judges, different outcome. So, I mean, I've seen girls fall flat and still win.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, absolutely. Joanna Johnson has said toe hangers with a vomiting emoji. She uses that vomiting emoji a hell of a lot. Leah Wright has said, I hate seeing the toes hanging over. It's awful. She's also said, Emily can't wait till Feb. Maria for her runway training. XX.
yay!
And a question from Beatrice Alicia. What do you think is... What do you think is the key to exuding confidence on stage? I mean, all three of you could answer this.
Yeah, definitely having a pair of shoes that you do not have to worry about. Being up there with a pair of shoes that you could strut your thing, do a turn, and not have to worry about twisting an ankle, breaking a leg, losing your balance. That to me is so important, because if you're up there worrying about your 6-inch heels, you're holding back. You're just kind of, very
nervous.
Yeah, and it doesn't allow you to relax. It doesn't allow your shoulders to fall naturally. It doesn't allow you to have a natural stride because you're too worried about tripping or falling in your heels. So that to me is probably one of the, more important things.
Lauren, what about yourself? I mean, you've done so many of these pageants. So what for you is the key to exuding confidence?
I think it's just knowing your outfit, practicing in it. If you've got like an outfit that's got a really long train, you want to make sure that you're not going to trip over it like I did. So practice makes perfect. And I think once you've practiced, you're going to feel a lot more confident on stage. So I would say practice in all your outfits. Make sure that you know that if it's going to go one way, that you're going to be able to walk out of it and go another way. And I think you're just going to get used to the motion of the dress.
Yeah. Kelsey, when I interviewed Kelsey Poulton, she said not this year, but last year when she went over to internationals, Maria, she had her dress altered. I can't remember. I think it might have been fashion wear, and she said she made the mistake of having it altered and then not practicing in it before her final, before she walked. And she said she had to hold the thing up the whole time because I think it was too long.
That was her evening
wear.
It was her down.
Yeah, and she said that was the one big lesson she learned from last year going into this year, was to practice what Lauren said, practice in every single one of the gowns. Especially if you have it altered, you need to practice in them.
And practice multiple times, because sometimes, like with fashion wear, you never know where it's going to lay on stage and whether your foot's going to get caught up in it. So if you practice more in it, you know how to get yourself out of a sticky situation.
Yeah.
Right. And Lauren knows, as well as girls that come to training with me, we don't try to not make the mistake again. I teach my girls how to fix it. It could happen on stage. So we're not gonna. When they get themselves wrapped up in their train and what have you, I don't say, okay, start over, do it again. Yeah. No. This could happen.
There and fix it.
You could forget what you're doing up there, get caught up in the moment, and just realize, oh my gosh, I forgot, I turned the wrong way. Now my train is all in front of me. I teach my girls, if this happens, this is how you're going to get out of it. This is how you're going to exit from this little mistake here. So there's no way to predict what will actually happen on stage that night. So if it happens at practice, if it happens at training, then we're going to work with it and we're going to fix it. We're going to pretend that happened on stage, and here's what we're going to do to fix that.
Yeah.
Because then you'll get girls with that panic-stricken look on their face about like, oh, what do I do now?
Yeah. So, you never know when you're going to step on a bead.
Oh, like I did. Walking down the steps at Grand, and literally stuck at the bottom of my tippy tops. And as I stepped, I slipped, and I was just like,
"Oh God!"
Screen grab.
That sounds awkward.
It was. But then I thought it's okay because Philippines did the same thing. So if Philippines can mess up, I can mess up too.
Hey, we're all human at the end of the day. Danielle, what about yourself in terms of exuding confidence on stage? You've been super quiet, I want to say. You look like you've just been basking in all of Maria's wisdom.
I've been soaking it up.
And it's so funny because whilst you're sitting there not making any noise, every now and then your nose is twitching, and because of your makeup, it just looks with a little kitty cat whiskers. It looks hilarious. Danielle, you go. So
I think it's twofold. I think preparation, absolutely. Practice, I reiterate everything that Lauren and Maria says. Practice in your gowns, practice in your shoes, know your walk, get good training. But then on the flip side of that is enjoy performing, enjoy your moment, soak it all up. You know, you get one shot at this, it goes so quickly. When you're on stage, have a ball, enjoy it, have fun. I think be excited that you're going to be on stage is one of the things that make you exude confidence. Yeah. You know, you can get a little bit nervous, but exhale the nervous energy, and then just when you step out on that stage, become Beyonce. Get up there, own it, have fun.
Wish I could do that. Next time I go up on stage, just pretend I'm Beyonce. I don't know exactly what will happen.
Literally, I think they were at Galaxy Internationals with that wind machine.
Yeah.
Do you know how many girls did not go up to the wind machine?
They didn't take advantage of it. I would have fully stayed there for 10 seconds just flicking my hair and loving life.
I'd Diana Rossed it up.
Like, come on, it's right there. Like, just take another step. Come on.
Where, I mean, I wasn't there. Where was the wind machine?
Right at the front of the stage.
Right. And what is it like being, like, are we talking a fan basically, or is this a wind machine?
It's like a big, it's a turbo, it's like a turbo fan. So it's pretty powerful. So the girls were to walk straight down the center and then stand for about 3 seconds while the photographer gets a picture, and then the wind hits them really good. You can see it in some of the videos, clips that we have, but yeah, I know that Ms. Galaxy 2020, Crystal Gale, she hit the fan a couple times, and that was great, but not a lot of girls did it.
It's so nice when you see like the hair go.
Yeah. I know. I feel like if I was on stage with a giant fan, I'd make a beeline for the fan and just stand there the whole time, letting people.
Right.
Forget all the other spots that you need to pose in.
Course.
It's just all about the fan.
The fan is the most fun part.
I would have done my entire thing right in front of that fan.
Just everything in front of them.
My pose, everything's gonna be in front of that fan.
You should have done Q&A in front of the fan. Do your interview in front of the fan, and your hair will be going everywhere. It'll be the most epic interview ever. I was gonna say, like, if you put Crystal,
I probably would have just been sweating on stage from nerves that I would have liked the fan just to cool me off a little.
In the Floridian heat, you're lucky that Crystal didn't blow away. She's so small. You put her in front of a turbo fan. You're lucky she didn't just blow away back to the back of the stage.
No, I have an awesome picture of her, really, and I've been meaning to post it, but the caption is going to be, you know, when you hit that fan just right. That's
all in the gale.
Yeah.
Very okay.
Dad jokes. Come to me if you want your dad jokes.
I need to find a way with this streaming software to have sound effects, so every time there's a bad pun, I can just hit the cymbal sound effects. That was a pretty good one, though. I'll give you that one. Jessica Bart.
Maria, wait until internationals next year. Everyone's going to be in front of that fan. You're not going to be able to get people off of the fan now.
There'll be a queue in front of the fan. You're not having a fan?
We're not having a fan.
No.
Too many people missed their mark.
Now I feel sad. I want to see the fan.
No fan.
You could have your own private fan in the audience, Adrian.
We'll be there going.
that wouldn't get annoying at all. Someone just blowing in your face going, I'll be your fan. God. I really want to see that fan now. I'm just going to stand in front of a hairdryer when I get off this and just stand there and pretend I'm in front of the Galaxy fan. Jessica Barclay has said, finally found awesome shoes. Walked in them so well they have overstretched. Hoping the brand releases similar ones soon. Janima has asked, do you think there should be a difference in smile in evening dress to around like fashion wear? I'll throw it to Maria first. Difference in smile between the rounds.
I have a thing about phony smiles.
I remember you said that.
If it's not your natural smile, don't force it. A forced smile just does not look attractive. If your nature is to just smile, and that's how you're going to smile in your evening gown, and you feel great and you're having a great time, then smile like that. Don't think that you have to hold back and do something like,
that looks so uncomfortable.
Talk about how some girls look uncomfortable when they try to smile. It does. They look like something hurts, and it's like
probably their ill-fitting shoes.
Yeah, probably. But no, they're just smile. I mean, don't laugh. God knows how much we love the fake laugh.
All three of your heads are going at the same time. It's hilarious. You're going like,
yeah.
I call it the catching flies.
That one you can leave that. You can leave that smile. Yeah, you can leave that smile at home. But no, if you have a great smile and it's a genuine smile, and you're in your evening gown, that's okay. Smile. Show the judges that you're excited to be up there, that you're enjoying every moment that you're up there, and that is you, that smile is coming from within you. And I think that there's nothing more beautiful than that, whether you're in an evening gown or a swimsuit or a fashion wear outfit.
I just remember in our interview, Maria, you talked about two things that are no-nos on the runway. One was you said the fake smile, and the other one I love is flicking your dress train around like a bullfighter. I love that. Do this with you.
The bullfighters, the swishing. They swish their trains, and then some of them, because they have outfits that they've added the piece of fabric to the back.
Yeah.
It's not a big flowy fabric, so they have like this little piece of material, like a tail.
Piece of tissue.
Yeah, and they're trying to swish it, and they really, the length between the left arm and the right arm and the little piece of fabric just doesn't allow them to really, let it flow properly. So it just doesn't look right. Lauren, what are you doing?
I'm just imagining someone walking on stage like with their arms trapped because they can't move them properly because they're holding onto this piece of fabric.
But we've seen it though, right?
Yeah. Like a handkerchief. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
I just have this image of a girl on stage like holding some sort of like a red napkin or something and trying to flick it around like it's some really sort of elegant dress train.
We've seen that too.
God. I guess at this stage, Maria, it's safe to say you've seen everything. I can't imagine there's anything that's going to happen on stage that would surprise you.
Nope, not even flashing boobs. Ladies, please, if you're going to wear a swimsuit, make sure it fits right.
And the hiney too.
Oh yeah, but I think I think the boob one is definitely one that you can. I mean, it's pretty obvious when you try it on. You're kind of,
And if you have a high split, don't face the judges with it.
Okay. I'm gonna. So Maria, just before I forget. So I know that you mentioned to me before that you can do your training over Skype. Is that correct?
Yes.
Right. Okay, so if people want the training with you either over Skype or when you do go to the UK, what's the best way to arrange that?
they message me on my Runway with Maria page.
Okay.
You know, I do prefer to at least have a one-on-one in person because I want to get a feel for the girl. I want to get a feel for how she walks. I want to get a feel for all of that. But if she has some sort of experience already, what I usually do is I have them Skype me when they're somewhere where they can walk. And I look at the walk, I look at their stride, I look at all of that, and then we start tweaking and changing. And because I know how to tell a girl what to do and what to change and how to position this or that, I find that it's I don't want to say easier, but it's not as difficult for me. I can still help you over Skype. I just would prefer at least a one-on-one as well.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. In terms of how long before the pageant, because I saw a post on Instagram the other day that someone recommended, a pageant coach recommended that if you want coaching for a particular pageant, they want you to start at least 3 or 4 months start coaching 3 or 4 months before the pageant. And then I think she said actually ideally would be 6 months, even to a year. So do you have a similar sort of time frame in mind, Maria, where you'd say you want to start like at least a few months before the pageant if possible?
Yeah, so all the girls that have signed up with me already right now, we're already, they don't just get me for 2 hours. Okay. I do include a 1 hour Skype session with them. We go over wardrobe, we go over, interview outfits, we go over swimwear options, fashion wear ideas, and the process starts now.
Yeah.
And that's because I don't want girls to wait till the last minute and think that I'm a miracle worker, because that's not how that works. And, I would prefer that these girls start now, especially because when I have had girls that I meet them for the first time at the training session, usually the pageant is already in a few days. And I don't have the heart to tell them that dress is completely wrong.
Yeah.
The fashion wear is not good. I have had girls, I've switched their swimwear because I feel so bad that it's like, no. We have to change this. I'm talking, we've gone to TK Maxx. I've gone shopping for them. I tell them, I'm like, nope, we're going to change this because at least this has to be much better.
Yeah.
Just because I didn't feel right letting them go up there and letting them think that they looked amazing in this swimsuit that they picked out. And that's another thing I wish girls would really understand. I get the body confidence thing. I get that. But there is still something to be said for learning to shop for your size and your body shape. I personally, I would not wear a bikini. You would not catch me dead in the 2-piece unless there was nobody around. Unless there was nobody around, and you would not, and even less on a stage. Okay, I'm gonna be 52 tomorrow, and there's just things that are not where they used to be.
It's your birthday tomorrow?
Yes. Well, actually, I think for you, tomorrow is already today for you, right?
29th of October. Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday,
dear Maria. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip.
Hooray!
I had no idea. Happy birthday. That's amazing. So what oh yeah. I was just thinking when you're talking about no one would catch you dead in a 2-piece bikini. I feel exactly the same way. You wouldn't catch me dead wearing a 2-piece bikini.
But no, and I think it's really important because I completely understand the body confidence. I love that.
Yeah.
Especially when you exude that on stage, you show everyone what you've got. and I love that. But
Mm.
a well-tailored outfit or swimsuit is really important. Last year, one of the girls that came to me, and I know she won't mind saying, or she won't mind letting me say
Yeah.
it was her, but Kelly Rowland was actually, Danielle, she was first runner-up in your division.
You sure was.
Kelly Rowland. She came to me to training with a two-piece. And I happened to bring this one piece with me.
Mm.
And I said, you know what? I never used it. Let me bring it with me in case somebody in the UK needs it, or if I need to change anything for anyone. Let me just bring it with me. And I brought this beautiful silk fabric that was meant to be attached to the swimsuit as well, and jewelry pieces and all that good stuff. But I hadn't sewn it on yet because no one had claimed it. No one had interest in it. And when I saw Kelly, when I was training with Kelly, I asked her. I said, "Would you be offended if I asked you why you didn't choose a one piece?" And she's like, "No, I just thought I like this one." And I said, "Would you mind trying a one piece on?" And she did, and she was like, "I feel so much more comfortable and confident in this swimsuit." Her walk changed, her whole demeanor changed in that one piece swimsuit. She still looked beautiful, elegant. She was still confident, but she just felt so much more comfortable that it just took her over the top. And if you think that a one piece can't be sexy and beautiful, I think you're missing out, because they really can be. And Kelly's a perfect example of that. Literally, just a few days before, we found someone to sew everything on, and boom, she ended up winning best in swimwear.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Maria, whereabouts? I wanted to ask, whereabouts do you actually do the training, or will you be doing the training when you go to the UK?
I rent a really nice Airbnb in Preston, and it has huge floor space.
Whereabouts is
Just try
Preston?
not to stuff the floor.
Where is Preston? I have no idea. Whereabouts is Preston? Is it close to London? Is it close to whereabouts is?
Oh God, no! It's close to Manchester.
Right. Okay.
So up north, yeah.
Yeah. Smile. I'm just seeing if there's any more questions. Jessica Barclay has said she loves her outfit so much she's scared to show you, Maria. That doesn't actually make sense. It's like, like
I know exactly. It makes perfect sense to me.
Joanna Johnson has said, "Yay, near me again." Sandal has said she loves a one piece. And Joanna Johnson just moved house as well. So Joanna, and I think she's sick at the moment. So Joanna, I hope you're feeling well. Isn't it Chloe Lake's birthday today, Lauren?
Yeah, Chloe's birthday today.
So happy birthday, Chloe, as well. I know she's going through stuff at the moment. There's a few birthdays happening and a few people sick at the same time. We'll move towards a close because we've already been on for over an hour, and I could pick Maria's brains about this stuff because I've never had anyone. I didn't realize there was so much to know about this stuff. I mean, I knew there would be, but I never talked to anyone to that degree in terms of like shoes and walking. Danielle and Lauren, do you have any questions for Maria whilst we have her on?
So I want to know, what is the best thing about being a director and the worst thing?
Well, the best thing is when I get a really amazing batch of queens, and we get really, really close, and we click. We all click. It just makes your year so much easier, and it makes you love what you do. So for sure. And this year I got lucky again with all the queens. They're just all amazing. And the worst part of being a director is when you have, well, there's a lot of worst parts of being a director.
You told me in our interview it was the bank. You said you don't laugh all the way to the bank, you cry all the way to the bank.
Yeah. So my boss doesn't pay me anything.
Should fire her.
People might think. I know, right? I should quit.
It's your birthday. Do what you want.
But I would definitely say that some of the worst things that I've encountered and that it really frustrates me, and only because I worked so hard to develop my brand and everything that I do to be unique and to just be sort of like ahead of the game or what have you, is when other people copy everything that I do, whether it's my crowns. I've seen other systems copy my paperwork. They try to copy the floor shot. Stop.
That brings me on to my question. Are you doing the floor shot next year?
Yeah, we had a floor shot in Chicago. Yeah, everywhere we go, well, if there's a floor, there's a shot.
Even if we have to lie under the Chicago bean, there's going to be a floor shot.
No, there'll be a floor. We did a floor shot at this hotel before, so we will definitely do a floor shot. But yeah, so just some of the downfalls of that is, disgruntled parents and contestants. Again, they seem to think that things are fixed and what have you. I had amazing judges this year. Some of them I've met for the first time. Actually, several of them, I met them for the very first time in Orlando. Renee was one of them from Beauty It's Everywhere. He was one of my judges. It's the first time I've met him. And I think that, Renee can vouch for, our judging panel and how everything was run and all that good stuff. So people just assume things when they don't really know everything that's going on behind the scenes. Yeah. And that just gets frustrating because we bust our behinds every year. And to have to deal with the negativity just because people are bitter and sore losers, it's really frustrating. Those are the things that make me so frustrated and make me question what I do every single year and why I put myself through that every single year.
Yeah. And I've seen it firsthand, like being on both sides of it with you. Like I remember one day you were so busy, I had to force McDonald's down you. I was like, you need to eat, just eat, because you just think it's like the whole glitz and glamour of a pageant, but it's non-stop. It literally is. You get back to the Queen's Retreat and you're still going through things. So this is what we're going to do tomorrow. It is non-stop and there's no time at all. So people have got to appreciate the hard work that does go into it.
Yeah, and part of that was what happened this year as well. Just with all the stress and not sleeping and being tired and everything, I think I got a little bit overloaded, and that's probably the first time that's really happened to me where I had to step off of the stage. That was very difficult for me. Yeah. If anybody knows me, to miss crowning is not something that I would take lightly at all. And so it was really hard for me to do that, but I needed to do that, and I'm thankful that my staff was able to just finish off what was needed to be done, with all the jokes included, I guess. That we
Can I just ask?
There was some audience participation on that one.
Well, on the question of staff, can you just tell me a bit about Jose? Because Kelsey mentioned that when you disappeared, I think Jose ran the show, and she mentioned, I think she was trying to be nice about it. She said it was, I think I think she said it was lovely, but I don't think Maria will get him to do that again. So first off, can you tell me exactly what happened? And secondly, I'm asking this because I'm actually going to be interviewing Jose, because he watched one of my interviews and he just dropped into my DMs, and I thought, okay, well, I might as well interview you because I've seen him attached to so much of the Galaxy stuff. So what did Jose do? And is there anything that you can do to prepare me for an interview with him? Because he seems pretty out there.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I was not watching, and it took me, I would say, it took me almost 2 weeks to watch the crowning.
Yeah.
Because I was so nervous and just because what everybody else was saying. But I guess he forgot when he was calling out the top 5. At one point they go like this, who else is missing?
Oh, God.
I was just like, I think if I would have been there, that probably would have been the straw that broke the camel's back, and I would have had a coronary.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think that probably would have just sent me over the top, over the edge. And so apparently, yeah, he's like, so who else is missing? And they're like, Australia. And she's like,
she's there.
She was already up there.
Already here.
I saw that part.
Portugal. And I'm
present.
I'm like, weren't you keeping track of who you were calling?
And then when you called Kelsey,
because it's not as easy as it looks when you're up there. And I'm like, I'm glad somebody doesn't think my job is as easy as it looks.
When he called,
but yeah, then when he finally called Kelsey, it was because he was going like this. Oh, okay, who do we have? We have Australia, Portugal, well, did top 5?
UK,
and whatever. And he's like, Europe, and they're like, yay! We're like, yeah, that's the one you were missing.
I'm sure he called it in order of who had placed in what position as well, though, as he was calling it out, and I was like, oh.
I don't. Yeah, see, I'm just very glad I was not there. But hey, you know what? At the end of the day, it is what it is. My staff pitched in. They got it done. Their CEO was not feeling well. She had to step off.
You know what I think it was? It was because I wasn't there. That's what it was. Too much.
That's exactly what it was.
What do you mean you weren't there, Lauren? You were there in Florida, weren't you? Or you weren't?
Yeah, but I wasn't on staff.
But she wasn't helping me.
Well, got to pick up your game, Lauren.
I always made sure Maria was good when I was on staff. I was like, "You feeling okay? Do you need any food, water?"
I was just going to say, you force-fed her McDonald's. Couldn't you have force-fed her something healthier than McDonald's?
Well, to be fair, it was just Uber Eats, get something delivered to the hotel, and just I ordered like a bunch of food for all the queens. I was like, everyone, what do you want? Quick.
Sound like you know what you're doing.
No, but I mean, it was they pulled it together. They got the girls crowned, and at the end of the day, that's what everybody cares about. Who won, and all that fun stuff. So.
Okay, so by the sounds of it, it sounds like when I interview Jose, I should be ready for a rather
just when you interview him, make sure to call him Dusty.
Dusty?
Like Dusty. Just be like, Jose, you Dusty.
You Dusty.
Is this going to get me like slapped on the internet or something?
No.
Okay.
No, it's an inside joke. He'll get it. He'll appreciate it.
Okay. Yeah, if you say so, I'll have to remember that.
And you ask him about his tattoo.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
He has a galaxy crown tattooed on his neck.
That is someone that's commitment. That's commitment.
That's dedication. That is.
That's crazy.
That is.
That's crazy. It's commitment. It's crazy.
Adrian, you're next for a tattoo. You've interviewed that many Galaxy girls. You're next.
Moving on. Now, Jessica Barclay has been very patient watching. So, Jessica, I apologize for this. I missed her question, and then she commented that I missed her question. So, just one final question. If I can find it, yes. Okay, so we'll make this a last question, and then we'll quickly wrap everything up. So Jessica's question: I have naturally very energetic arms. Should I try to tone them down, or go with what's natural?
I would have to see how erratic her arms are. I'd have
Sometimes
to.
They can be too distracting.
Yeah. So a natural swing is great, but if you're gonna go up there and go like,
or start marching and have your arms up here.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of girls where they got one arm that is just going crazy, swinging around, and the other one is like stuck to their side.
It needs to look natural.
It's so weird.
You make it. I just have this picture of someone like doing a lasso motion. You know, one arm next to there, and then the other one's like doing this.
But one going like this.
No, because you know what they do is that what happens is here. Let me see if I can do this. What they do is they'll keep one arm down, and then the other arm is like
all the energy is in that one arm.
In that one arm, and then the other one is just perfectly still. So that looks really awkward. But I mean, it's okay for your arms to naturally move with your body.
Yeah.
That's normal. That's what your body does, and that's the problem when someone who is not as experienced is trying to teach you how to walk. If they only know how to show you how to model and not explain how to move your body, how to properly shift your weight and all that good stuff, it takes the girl a little bit longer to learn.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Joanna,
I feel like you should have some runway classes with Maria just so you can see firsthand what actually goes into it.
Can we film Adrian having a runway session, please?
Yes.
You got yourself a new client, Maria.
I don't know who looks more terrified, Maria or myself.
That's what you can do with
as
your
long as it's not in Australia, we're good. As long as it's not in Australia, we're good.
Maria,
too many legs to work with.
So, Maria, opinion, just your opinion on spiders in general. I didn't get a chance to ask you this because I didn't know how phobic you were of them. Just how do you feel about spiders?
I don't like them.
Tell them how you get your house. What is it? You get the guy to come in every couple of weeks.
I have an exterminator that comes every 6 weeks.
Just the parameter of the house.
Yeah, he does an entire called a perimeter control. He doesn't just do the perimeter. I make him do the roof as well, like because wait.
Exterminator hanging off the roof, trying to kill spiders.
No.
It's like perimeter control. It's like border control.
Not a wand. It's not a wand.
Oh, he's got a wand. Okay.
Maria starts to build a wall around the house to get the spiders out.
All right, you guys need to understand. In Texas, we have flying cockroaches.
I thought all cockroaches fly.
Yes,
they fly here.
They're like this.
Is that like a locust?
No, a flying cockroach.
A giant cockroach, and it flies. They usually hang out inside the palm trees.
Hang out.
And we have lots of palm trees, and they fly.
Hey guys, me on the palm tree.
Party in the palm tree at Maria's.
No. Here's a good story for you. So I was booking Maria an Airbnb for when she came to the UK, and she made me go to one of the properties because it had too much wood to make sure it had no spiders in it for her arrival.
So Maria doesn't like too much wood.
Yeah, because the spiders can hide in them. So she made me go to the Airbnb. I had to text this woman and just go and check out the Airbnb like I was buying a
I'm just
property
checking
for
your
her.
wood. Yeah, that'd go down well.
Come and check your wood from spiders. Any spider webs down here? Cobwebs?
I don't like bugs. I don't like bugs in general. We have really big roaches here, so I have the outside of my home exterminated every 6 weeks. I have the inside done every year, the garage, the attic, the inside of my house, and it keeps them at bay.
I can't look. I don't know if this ever made it to public, but I think I was watching a science show, New Inventions, and I think it was in Africa where malaria is a very big problem because of mosquitoes. And someone had invented basically a motion detector. So you would surround your property with 4 walls and the roof, and it would all have motion detectors. And literally, if it detected a mosquito, and it could tell the difference between, let's say, a mosquito and a human. If it detected a mosquito, it actually shot it with a small laser and killed the mosquito.
That's what you need, Maria.
So it sounds like that's what you need, yeah.
Listen, I even debated if I wanted the chemical stuff coming out of my sprinkler system.
Okay, all right.
They're going to come immune to it, though.
Yeah.
No, they're not immune to it because my exterminator changes the formula every other time it comes. We're on to their game.
Oh, good God.
Oh, I want to see this palm tree with all these cockroaches hanging out.
Yeah, the party in the palm tree.
My neighbor chopped down one of his palm trees.
And they all came to yours.
I had to have my guy come back because all the bugs that were living in his palm tree started flying out and landing everywhere. And I'm like, oh, no.
Why?
No.
Maria, why don't you just chop down your palm trees? Why don't you just chop down your trees? If all the...
Okay, first of all, I only have one small palm tree in my backyard, and it's not the kind of palm tree that
they like
to sleep in. There's actually specific types of palm trees that they like to go in, and I'm telling you. And his palm tree was about, I would say his palm tree was a good 20 feet tall, and it was starting to die. So that's why they had it cut down.
Right, okay.
And it was like infested. I was like, no. So I had my guy come over. I'm like, so we need like a double dosage.
What's the name of your exterminator? I'm assuming you know his name. You must be on a first name basis.
Moises, he's on speed dial.
Moses.
Moses.
Mm-hmm. He's parting the sea.
Parting the Red Sea. Biblical. Maria's wrath for the bugs does sound biblical. It's like Old Testament stuff.
I'm telling you, I promise you. I always joke around like this, but I tell all my friends, I'm like, listen, if there's a choice between paying the light bill and paying the exterminator bill, the exterminator's gonna get paid.
You're gonna be sat in the dark.
I was gonna say, if you drive past Maria's place and you see her in the dark, you know why. It's because she paid her exterminator bill. She paid Moses to part the Red Sea. Now we have no electricity, but it's worth it.
But I won't have any big bugs in my house.
Now I understand why you don't want to come to Australia.
Would you rather?
Huh?
Crowns or no bugs?
No bugs.
Over crowns any day. Okay.
I'm telling you right now, if you want to see Maria run into oncoming traffic or throw herself out a window, jump off a building to avoid a bug, a spider, what have you, that would be that's how you do that.
Oh, wow.
I know what I'm getting you for Christmas now.
A spider in a box.
No, bug catcher.
No, I think she just needs a mallet by the sounds of it. One with a really, really long handle. I had a
Just get Cora.
I don't know.
It's not fun.
Well, I don't know if this would work for you because you might have to get too close to the bug, but I used to have a tennis racket here. I don't know if you had them in the UK or the US, but it was a novelty tennis racket and it had a battery in it, and you would swat a bug with it, and it was like a bug zapper, and you'd swat a fly or something and it would buzz and it would kill the fly.
Yes!
Yeah?
I know exactly what you're talking
but
about.
the problem was here in Australia, some of the bugs are so big. I just wanted to see what would happen. So I went and swatted. It was kind of like a giant cockroach flying in the air. And I went to swat it, and it buzzed and buzzed and buzzed, but it didn't kill it. And it ended up flying at me and chasing me because I had zapped it and basically just annoyed it. So I don't... but I just said...
Pick your battles, Adrian. Pick your battles.
I would have died. I would have been dead.
There's nothing worse than seeing a cockroach flying at you. Like, I'm used to a lot of things, but a cockroach dive bombing you, because they can live with their head chopped off. They can still go around for like a week or something without their head chopped off.
Ew.
Yeah, that's why they say if there's ever a nuclear war, the one thing that'll be left is cockroaches, because they can survive everything.
They can't survive my cat.
I just have this picture of you now going around.
Nuclear exposure. The cat catches the cockroach.
No, Cora, Cora's good. She's my little hunter. If they make it past the chemical barrier, she'll get them.
Then you'll just hear Maria going, "Get it, Cora! Get it, Cora!"
Oh my God! Be like, hurry up, Cora, before it flies! Oh my God! I would die. I would die. And the problem is, so I have something called cataplexy because I have narcolepsy. If you don't know that, fun fact, I have narcolepsy. So with narcolepsy, there's something called cataplexy, and it was what happens is that you lose muscle control. So I will faint, or the best way to explain what happens. One year, a locust landed on me. I was in San Antonio, Texas, and my girlfriend was trying to find the best way to like not tell me there was a locust on me. And I see her kind of like looking around, and I'm like, "What's wrong?" And she's like, "Nothing." And I'm like, "What?" She's like, "No." And I'm like, "Oh my God, is there a bug on me? Oh my God, is there a bug on me?" And she's like, "Just please don't look down." Of course I'm going to look. And as I look down, there's this ginormous grasshopper thing. And I kid you not, this is all I remember doing. And I went, boom, down, over. It's sort of like fainting goat syndrome. You know how you never go and it tips over?
Don't operate any machinery in grassy areas.
It's the weirdest thing, but it does, and it could, if you scare me, if you startle me or whatever, that's what happens. I literally freeze and I collapse. So,
I'm just trying to think back now if I scared you before.
Huh?
I'm just trying to think back now. I'm sure I've scared you before at your house with Addie.
Ariana thinks it's hilarious. She's like,
yeah.
"Oh, watch. My mom, like, she'll freeze. Her eyes will go like really big, and then she can't move. She thinks it's funny."
Okay. So maybe I shouldn't bring the practical jokes over, because you sound like you would just faint on the spot. So
I literally, like, I kid you not, it is a death. Like, that's why I'll never go to Australia.
I'm like that with snails, though. I have an irrational phobia of snails. And if I tread on one, I will pass out.
Oh, that's not
I've
good.
eaten snails before. They're tasty.
They're so slow. Like, snails don't do anything.
I was going to say, like, a snail won't chase you.
It's irrational.
The snail's not going to fly at you, but yeah, no, I hate snails.
No.
There is a backstory to this.
You could even
Holly's
ask
looked at them.
I slept at Holly's mom one year, and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and there was a spider in my room. And I am crying like a child. Crying. And I FaceTimed my husband, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know. I can't go to sleep. And he's like, so what would you like me to do? And I'm like, oh my God, babe, the spider's moving. It's moving. And then finally, I think after about 20 minutes, Debbie heard me like wallowing in her bedroom in her house. And she knocks on the door. She's like, Maria. And I'm like, there's a spider in my room. And I was sobbing. I kid you not. You would have thought that I was a 8-year-old little girl crying hysterically. And she's like, what? She opens the door and she sees the spider and she literally goes, oh, all right then. Yeah, that's a big one. And she went to get a shoe.
That's a very Australian thing to do.
And she went to get, and thank God she saved my life. I owe my life to Debbie. Because I probably would have died that night if she hadn't come into the room.
Have you heard my spider stories, Maria?
I saw your spider story. I nearly had a stroke with your coffee. I would die. Like, I don't even understand how you had the frame of mind to take a photo and then post it.
When did you notice? Did it not hit you when you were like?
Well, no, because if you imagine, I mean, a spider normally is very light, right? I mean, if a spider was on you, you wouldn't feel like, oh my God, my arm's really heavy. So they're very light.
It's pretty big.
Yeah, but it's still very light. So it was just kind of floating. It had soaked in the water as well because I had boiled it in the kettle. All this unintentional, by the way, if you don't know the story. And you can't see it because it was the same color as the instant coffee. So, and I'm not really paying attention because normally when I'm drinking coffee, I'm working at the same time. So I'm just going like this. I'd be fairly certain it made its way into my mouth at least every now and then, like at least a couple of legs, and then every now and then it just came back out. But can you imagine if it? Because normally at the end, when you'd be most afraid of it coming out of the cup, it's at the end when there's none left, because you normally have to go like this, right, to get the last bit. So it's normally at that time when it would just go probably straight into your mouth, and then you'd be like, "What's that?" And then spit it out, and they're like, "Oh my God, there's a spider in there." And at that point, I'd probably have cataplexy right then. I'd develop it spontaneously because I was that close to crying when I saw the spider in my coffee, and I don't cry at much. And I'm just looking at it and realizing what had happened, going, I've just drunk, because I took about half an hour to drink that coffee, so it had soaked. It was more like coffee, a spider soup. And I'm looking at it going, oh my God, that was in my mouth or near my mouth the whole time. And then I went to take a photo of it.
I was like watching YouTube on my phone, and you know when you can see like in the corner of your eye just something crawl on you, and I was in bed and it was the worst spider I've ever seen in my life, just crawling on me, and I literally screamed, and my mum thought that I was being murdered in my room. It was horrific. I am traumatized, and now I'm so scared. I have to check my bed like with the torch on just to make sure there's no more spiders in my room.
I don't even understand that. I guess everyone acclimates to whatever they're, to whatever they grow up
within
with.
reason.
So sometimes, you're like, oh yeah, the spider. Yeah, we get them all the time. Or what? No. I cannot. And like Lauren said, I will not rent a place that has wood beams in the apartment. If it has excessive wood, anything, I will not. A wood floor is okay, but all this wood beams and barn stuff or what? No, that's not going to happen.
And yet Maria stayed in a barn conversion when she came.
Oh, the house in Wales?
Yeah.
I know, but we didn't have that. It wasn't like all woodsy beams and stuff like that.
Nice. It's very nice.
No, really nice. And it was, no. But yeah, no.
I got to take the girls all hiking and it was fun.
Yeah, so nice. But yeah, no. I can't.
I think if your fear really is that bad, I don't know if it was, because a lot of people say they're afraid of spiders and you never know exactly how much. But if it actually really is that bad, you probably don't want to come to Australia, because then you probably will be taking every step, like worried that there's going to be a bug somewhere nearby. And that's the thing in Australia, you do kind of get used to it. Like if there's a spider out there, be like, oh yeah, there's a spider. I mean, ideally it's not on your face when you wake up, right? But for example, there will often be spiders like crawling along on the roof, and I'm used to it. As long as it's not near me, then that's fine. But one time, for example, I went out to I went out to the car one day, and I opened the car, and I just saw at the corner of my eye this thing moving on the roof of my car, and I looked at it, and it's a big spider, right? Like probably, I don't know what you guys say big, but it's a couple of inches long, and I'm like, oh, that's it. I don't want it to go in my car, because then I'm driving with a spider in my car, and even I don't like that. So I quickly get in the car and close the door. Keep it outside. It then goes down the front windshield, and it stays right in the middle of the front windshield like this. And I'm like,
I would have put my wipers on straight away.
Well, I started driving, and I was hoping that I could, blow it away, and it was just staying there really stubbornly. So I start driving faster, and you see it kind of hanging on. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I didn't want to use my wiper because I thought I might injure it. I'm just trying to blow it off. So I used my wiper. It got stuck under my wiper and then was spread all over my window.
Oh no, that's gross.
Exactly, right? I didn't want to do that. So, but that's usual for Australia. That'd be like not to not exaggerate, something like that would happen probably once a month at least, where you just have a random encounter with a spider.
Yeah, so wherever I was headed, I would not be heading there. I would be calling.
Maria would get out, bomb the car.
I can go anywhere.
You're going to call Moses. Moses, meet me at my car.
There is no way no how I would have, and I would have done I probably would have taken something 10 feet long and tried to smash it, beat it. No,
I was going to say, like a baseball bat, and just smash the window of your car.
But at least it'd be dead.
No, you'd miss the spider, smash your car, the spider would run away. That's the thing.
Well, at least
it's gone. I think a grenade would be better.
I'm that girl that would torch her car if the spider got.
I was going to say, I think you'd just buy a new car.
Yeah, I would never. Okay, so where there's one, there's more. It probably has a brother, a sister, a father, a mother, something, a cousin somewhere. No.
Okay.
I'm good. No, thank you.
I've been looking at the clock. We've been talking about spiders for 40 minutes. Crystal Gale has said hello, everyone. Hello, Crystal.
Hey, Crystal.
Hi.
What we'll do, just to wrap this up, we took a slight spider detour, but Danielle and Lauren, I'll get you guys to let the audience know what you're doing between now and next week, and then Maria probably can let us know what she's doing for the rest of 2019. So because we don't know what next time we'll speak to her. So Danielle, what have you got planned in between now and next week?
So Tuesday to Friday, it's good old work for me. I work for a luxury gym, so those that get harassed by gyms know that this is a very important time for me towards the end of the month. So I'm going to be working 12-hour days, which is great. And then on Saturday, have Jessica Barclay's quiz nights. So hopefully tons of people will attend that and get loads of money raised. I don't actually have a team yet, so Jessica, you might have to partner me
with someone.
Lex is flaring up now.
It's partner you up with someone.
Got to partner me up with someone. And then on Sunday it's Yemi. So young international.
Oh, cool! Young European. Is it?
That's the one. That's the one.
Yeah, I can't remember.
On Sunday.
Okay.
And then I think I'm volunteering Sunday morning as well, working over at Walthamstow Marshes, doing a bit of conservation work over there for my Sunday service before I head up to Yemi.
Perfect. Okay. Good luck with that. I love the Sunday service idea. Lauren, what have you got going on for the next week?
Well, I would have been planning for my friend to make a trip over here, but now it's turned into me trying to book a flight, find accommodation, pull some money out of somewhere, and yeah, I'm off to Thailand. And then I think, well, I've got most of my research back now from my survey, so it's just going to be putting that into action, getting that into spreadsheets, and then sending that off to schools, and hopefully getting my project up and running and start heading into schools after, because they're on half-term break in Wales now. So when they go back to school, hopefully getting a few of those organised and ready to go. So yeah, it's like full steam ahead with pageanting.
Amazing. Okay. And Maria, yourself, apart from
getting Moses in.
I don't know where to begin. Moses, the party in the tree with the cockroaches. Apart from all that stuff.
I've already had my monthly treatment. He was just here a couple days ago, so I'm good to go. What's coming up for me is well, tomorrow's my 52nd birthday. So
that's right.
I'm going to go out to dinner with my daughter, Ariana.
I thought you were going to say with Moses then, treat him for dinner.
Marty, my husband's out of town, so I won't be able to see him tomorrow, but he'll be back on Wednesday. And just normal everyday stuff. I'm reorganizing my closet, wardrobe, taking out stuff that doesn't fit. I have an entire stack of sad to say clothes that don't, because I'm no longer a size 2 or 4. Accepting that fact has been very difficult, but I'm getting there. And I'm planning a very exciting Queen's Retreat, which I will eventually divulge all of the details, but this year's Queen's Retreat is going to be a little bit different. And I've already spoken to all 7 of the queens. They will all be participating. And let's just say that the Queen's Retreat will not be taking place in the United States of America.
I'm assuming it's going to be somewhere bug-free.
Oh, I've not been to this place, but it better be bug-free.
Otherwise, no, we're going back to America. Pack your bags, we're going back.
Everyone's going to Maria's house because it's been exterminated.
I'll go to Scotland, freeze my tush off. At least there's no bugs.
Bring Moses along as well. We can be the 8th queen.
Yeah, you don't need a bodyguard. You just need Moses to come along with you with his spray wand, and every time there's a bug, just...
I'm telling you, I should have him bottle that stuff up for me.
You're going to spray it on yourself like perfume. It's... God.
You know? But, I mean, but yeah, so that's sort of what we're working on. The girls are going to be busy over the holidays. We have parades coming up and lots of events. So we're super excited. All my queens are keeping busy. They're doing such an amazing job. We're excited about Philippines coming on board. Yesterday, Maria Andrea had a huge welcoming reception in her town. Yeah, so it's, just excited with that. A few new countries coming on. And so we're just super excited.
Amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
As for myself, in terms of the pageant stuff coming up, I've got an interview. It says Saturday 10 a.m. UTC, so 10 a.m. on Saturday UK time. I'm interviewing Miss World Wales, Gabriella Jukes, so that should be interesting. She looks like an interesting interview, so I'm looking forward to that. And aside from that, look, I'm going to thank everyone for watching. Obviously, we took a bit of a detour with the spiders, but at least from my perspective, it was well worth it because I haven't laughed that long for a long time. But I'm going to thank everyone who has been watching. I'll just finish up with the comments. Rachel Lee Loftus has said, hi, Lauren, Daniel, and Maria. Love you guys so much. Autumn Castine has said, happy birthday to Maria. Charlotte Cassie Clemmy has said, ooh, that's exciting, Maria. Crystal Gale has said, can't wait. So that must be about the Queen's Retreat. And Leah Wright has said, yeah, come to Scotland, Maria. So if you ever want to escape the bugs, sounds like you have a home in Scotland.
Oh, yeah, I love Scotland.
All right. I'll keep you guys on for just a minute longer whilst I finish up the theme. I'm going to thank all these...
My brief is in.
I'm going to thank all these lovely ladies for their time. I'm going to leave the audience behind and we'll speak to you next week.
Bye. Bye.
What's up, guys? It's Adrian again. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember to head over to pageantlaunch.com. Join our launch team for our review site. It's super important to all of us to make sure that the industry is safe, transparent, and fair. So head over to pageantlaunch.com, write in your email address, and we'll speak to you next time.